pretty excited for college football week 3 this weekend. There are 5 games that I am paying attention to. The first game is number 1 ranked Georgia at South Carolina. I expect Georgia to win this game easily. I would be shocked if they didn't. But what I'm excited to see, and I'm pumped about, is watching South Carolina quarterback Spencer Rattler. And I want to see how he handles playing against a really, really good, top-notch Georgia defense, because they are a stout group. And Spencer Rattler's a good quarterback on a bad team. This year is really going to test him. He's going to have to display a lot of discipline and have to make good decisions in spite of the fact that there's not great stuff around him, and be patient, because I think he's going to lose a lot of games, and he just got to keep dialing it in and be patient and making good throws and good decisions, and not let the fact that they're losing and not let the fact that he doesn't have a lot of help pull him down. Frankly, it's going to be very good for Spencer Rattler. He's going to grow a lot as a quarterback if he can stay disciplined and be patient. And I want to see Spencer Rattler this weekend be challenged to play a clean game and a disciplined game. I don't care if the ball gets tipped up in the air and picked off or this and that. What I want to see is good decision making. And when the game gets tough, they get down by 21 points, yada yada. Does he start forcing bad throws into coverage or not? Because that is the way. If you want something to pay attention to in this game, you're looking for a storyline to care about. Does Spencer Rattler stay disciplined in a really tough matchup against Georgia? Game number 2 is number 12 ranked BYU at Autzen Stadium in Eugene at number 25 ranked Oregon. Hey, Oregon, they're ranked. Good for them. I kind of like that. Oregon got hammered by Georgia, but that's understandable in my mind. BYU's coming off of a really big win at home against Baylor in overtime. I guess double overtime, really. Good for BYU. That was a fun game last week. Now they're going to play Oregon, and for Oregon, I think this is the first fair fight of the year, really, because they've gone from one extreme to the other. Week 1, they got absolutely obliterated by Georgia, 49-3. Then in week 2, Oregon dominated Eastern Washington and won 70-14. They haven't played in a normal, legit matchup so far this year. How about the happy medium between BYU and Oregon? I am hoping for a close game. I got my fingers crossed. I really want that to happen. I'm very excited to watch Oregon's quarterback, Bo Nix. He's got a lot of talent, and I think among matchups in the top 25 this weekend, BYU-Oregon feels fun and interesting. Dan Lanning, he's a new coach at Oregon, came over from Georgia. This is an opportunity for him to show, hey, things are changing. Georgia was a bad look, but you know what? We were outmatched physically. Here's a fair fight, and look what we can do in a fair fight. Keep your eye on BYU-Oregon this weekend. By the way, I really like BYU's head coach. He's awesome. Just big fan of him as a human. Then you have number 13 ranked Miami at number 24 ranked Texas A&M. Game at College Station in Texas. Very exciting matchup here. This is Miami's first legit opponent of the year as well. So far, they've beat Bethune-Cookman 70-13. Then they beat Southern Mississippi last weekend 30-7. Texas A&M is a real challenge for Miami, finally. And they've got a new head coach, Mario Cristobal. And A&M is coming off of a really bad loss to Appalachian State. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. And it's my first time watching Miami's quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke, who has been sold to me as a really talented NFL prospect. He wasn't on my radar much last year. I'm sorry, I'm not going to watch Bethune-Cookman against Miami. Here's Tyler Van Dyke in a real moment, in a real game, and I've got my attention on it. I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm very hopeful that he can... I'm rooting for the guy to show he's a great NFL quarterback. I want to see him do well, and I like that thought, and having another great quarterback to throw in the mix for the draft season in the next couple of years is really exciting. So I have my eyes and my full attention on Tyler Van Dyke to see what happens in my first time paying attention to him this weekend against Texas A&M. Game number 4 is Mississippi State at LSU. LSU is 1-1. They lost week 1 to Florida State. Then they dominated D1 AA program Southern University 65-17. So I don't know. It's last week in my mind is just a boring waste of a week if you're an LSU fan. This is the first SEC matchup of the year for LSU with their new head coach, Brian Kelly. All eyes are on Brian Kelly. What happens here in this moment? And I'm very excited to watch LSU's quarterback, Jaden Daniels, a transfer from Arizona State in a big moment, hosting another SEC program. I'm excited to see what happens. Game number 5 is one, if you like quarterback play, this is the game to watch. Fresno State, they're unranked at number 7 USC. USC is probably going to win this game. But in this game, you've got two really good quarterbacks, Jake Haener from Fresno State and Caleb Williams, who he's a sophomore. He's not eligible for the draft, but in 2 years from now, Caleb Williams is going to be probably the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. So I am telling you, this is a really fun quarterback matchup. I'm excited to see it. And man, if you want offense and fun stuff going on, I believe it's the late game. I think it's like a 7:30 kickoff West Coast time. It's going to be on late Saturday night. Fresno State at USC is going to be a lot of fun. I think high scoring. I think interesting. And I am telling you, Jake Haener, there's something there at the NFL level. He's really accurate. He throws a lot of back shoulder fades, and they're outmatched physically in this football game against USC. But keep your eye on Jake Haener and Fresno State at USC this weekend. Now, this game is worth mentioning. I don't care about the game I'm about to talk about. Number 22, Penn State, is going on the road at Auburn. People are going to want me to talk about it, and I just do not find it compelling. I don't care. I'm mentioning it so that people don't comment, what about Penn State Auburn? But personally, I don't care. Neither program is going anywhere this year. They're not going to make the college football playoff. And I haven't found a great reason to care. I'm interested in TJ Finley, I guess, Auburn's quarterback. Penn State's quarterback, Sean Clifford, is bad. I just don't. I'm so tired of him playing, and I'm so over it with Sean Clifford. I don't care at all. So I'm not interested in that game at all. So before you can even mention it, let me tell you, hey, Penn State Auburn, if you enjoy it, I'm happy for you. I hope you have a great time. I'm not going to watch it unless it goes to like triple overtime and there's a reason to care. So that game is not on my radar, but it is a big matchup that people are talking about this weekend. And if I look at it and there seems like some compelling reason to watch, I will. But there's so many other games I'd rather watch. I'm just not going to make time for that one.